Well, okay, I have quite a bit of news, and I'm not sure where to put it. So I'll probably be mentioning it in most of my new coming videos, because it's kind of big, and I want people to know. One, my employment at Karma Candy has been what they consider temporarily terminated, but I am considering myself laid off permanently because, well, 2 weeks ago, they had me miss 2 days work just simply because machines were down and there was nothing for me to do. Meanwhile, as they're doing this, I know they're hiring more and more people on a weekly basis. When I work day shifts, I see the temps coming into orientation. Then this week, my machines were down, so they had me doing something else. I show up Wednesday and was told to just pretty much go home and not come in until they're called because the machines are down to the point where they're actually disassembled and they're sending parts to a separate location to be repaired, and there's simply no work for us. They sent me and a bunch of other people home. Then I get a phone call telling me pretty much not to come into work until they phone me. Now, because I showed up Wednesday, I am getting paid 3 hours despite me just showing up to go home, but that means I missed a little over 2.5 days work this week. The week before that, I missed 2 days work, and to me, that's the final straw. I missed pretty much an entire week's work because this factory is extremely incompetent, so I don't have any faith in this factory, and will just pretty much be looking for new employment and relying on my pension. Now, that's the bad news. When I went home that Wednesday, I sent in, I think Nehemiah of my book, The Blasphemous Bible. This will all know about this by now, but for those of you who don't, I wrote a book about 7 or so years ago called The Blasphemous Bible. It's pretty much a satirical rewrite of the Bible in full. And a few years ago, I signed a publishing contract with 8th House Publishing, and we're, after some difficulty in editing, finally making progress now. I sent in a bunch of books on my end and have yet to receive anything back. Now, I think I've mentioned before that we're changing, do I jump down here? We're changing the format where there's just not going to be any more Old King James, Old English. The official reason being it'll make it more accessible to readers. The real reason being it's going to significantly cut down on the editing time. Now, since then, I've been taking that into heart, and I've sent in pretty much, well, at that point in time, I sent in everything from 1 Samuel to Nehemiah. Asked them when I was getting their edits back for my approval, and I got a email from my publisher saying, please please keep up the work on your end. We are dealing with a for release on our end, you know. They are a publishing company, they have priorities, but they will be sending me back books in blocks once the fall release edits are done, and I shall be expecting quite a bit back in September. September is a little over 2 weeks. No, a little under 2 weeks away. Here's the thing. When he replied this, he told me that they will quite possibly have this, my book ready by the end of the year. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, right, but, well, the more I, think about it, the more I ponder it, the more I'm thinking it might actually be done, because, well, I just sent in Joe today, and I got the email on Wednesday. So I sent in Esther and Job in about 2 days. They were, however, relatively short books. Psalms I'm doing now, and Psalms is quite lengthy. My version has 166 chapters. Whew boy! But, well, the chapters, despite being plentiful, are rather short. So it might be done in a week to 2 weeks tops. It's possible now. That means I am about halfway, give or take, through the Old Testament according to the books of the Bible, and over a quarter of a way through the entire Bible, based on just the books of the Bible, which isn't that impressive overall. The Bible is quite a lengthy book, but here's what's making me wonder if perhaps well, maybe it's possible we actually can get this done before the end of the year. I have my book, The Blasphemous Bible, separated by the books of the Bible. I am not doing the edits in one big long document. I have all 66 books of the Bible, of the Blasphemous Bible, saved in separate documents, and that's how I've been doing the edits. One book at a time, sending them in one book at a time. However, saying this, I do have a document which is my entire book in one document. Not separated by books, it's the entire massive book in one document, and I've been kind of using that to sort of see my progression. Even before my publisher sent word about after I sent in Nehemiah, and it might be possible hope to get this done before the end of the year. According to the document I've been using, I'm over halfway done. just in regards to raw text, to the amount of words in my book. I'm over halfway done, and since I've sent in Esther and Job and the likes, it's a little over 55, maybe, possibly even 60. Well, okay, not 50, 60, definitely over halfway done the, my entire book. And now that Psalms is up, once I complete Psalms, it's going to be well over 66%. Whoa! Well over 66%. Not 66%. Sorry, 60% done. It may be ready to release before Christmas, so even if so, that is plausible. I have sincere doubts it'll be released before Christmas, but it will be might have a release date before Christmas, or release date by Christmas. It might be ready by Christmas. So yay. This is like 8 years in the making, and it's happening. It's happening. I found a legitimate publisher, not a scam publisher, not a soft publisher, a legitimate publisher with headquarters in Montreal and New York, so they're big enough. My book is almost halfway done. My book is over halfway done. My publisher believes we may have this ready by the end of the year. This is happening. My book, my very controversial, arguably the most controversial book to be written in recent history, is soon in the closer than I originally thought future, the near future. It's going to be available on shelves. It's going to be available in ebook format. It's going to be available on not just Amazon, because getting a book available on Amazon is apparently easy, now that I knew after the fact, but it'll also be available on Kohl's bookshelves, on their bookshelves in ebook format. It will be available at Barnes & Noble in paper form and ebook format. It will be available off Chapters Indigo in paper form and ebook format. The 3 plus Amazon. My book. Whoa. My book is going to be available by the major book retailers plus online through Amazon. It will be easily available to people not just in North America, but around the globe. It's happening. And I am still nervous. It might not be as a success after all. Books come and go, but it's controversial enough to sell well. So I might. It's happening. And my editor, or the person I've been dealing with in 8th House Publishing, has been talking way before my book was even ready about talking about going on a book tour and having a publicity whatever. I don't know what that means except going on television. I know one example they had, there was an author they had a contract with who did a photo book of the gay and lesbian, the LGBT scene in Russia during the when the Russians held the Winter Olympics. And I knew they had him appear on Ellen. So, yeah, and again, how do I explain this? One problem with dealing with publishers is they tend to be yes men. So I take what they say with a little bit of skepticism, but they seem to think that my book is going to be a big deal. So they're really pushing me. And if they think it's going to be a big deal, then it probably is going to be a big deal simply because they want it to be. After all, the more money I make, the more books I sell, the more money they make as well. Now, I don't really want to be famous or infamous, because let's be honest, I'll not so much be famous, I want to be infamous. I do want some money that comes with fame, I won't be honest. I'm sick and tired of living in not necessarily poverty, but always struggling with finances. But you know, I'll swallow the bitterness and parade myself like a freak show on television and do the publicity, whatever it is they want me to do, and take my 15 minutes of fame, sell the books, make my money, and then go on and do whatever it is I want. Will I do other blasphemous whatever? I might. But I will focus more on books that I want to do. I've started and I'm slowly working on a project I'm doing now, which probably won't sell that well, but it might. I don't know. It could be a minor success, so probably it might get turned into a movie. I don't know. It's by no means not going to sell nearly as well as the Blasphemous Bible. But the Blasphemous Bible is going to be my ticket. My big success, which will pretty much allow me to focus on other projects. The Blasphemous Bible has been a project I've done 8 years ago, and I am possibly a bit foolish in thinking it's going to be as big a success as I hope, but again, just due to controversy alone, it should be as big a success as I hope. You know? It's, you know, everyone knows satanic verses, and just due to controversy alone, and while I get to read it, I'm not entirely sure what it's about, say, for the misleading name. I think it has something to do with an Islamic immigrant going to the United Kingdom, or an Islamic immigrant whose boat sunk, swimming to the shores of the United Kingdom. I'm not sure what it is. I just know that it's created quite the controversy in regards to Islamic extremists, and the author has to pretty much go into hiding. Now, it probably wouldn't be nearly as controversial if it wasn't for the controversial name Satanic Verses, but my book is arguably more controversial than Satanic Verses. Meaning it should sell just as well and get me popular just as well. Popularity is not really what I want. I value my anonymity. I want to be able to, go to the grocery store and buy my bread and not have people, both supporters and enemies, all recognize me. But as I said, I'm by no means that interesting a guy. It's probably only going to be for about my 15 minutes of fame until someone else controversial comes along and takes the spotlight away from me, which is inevitable. Saying that, during my 15 minutes of fame, I will certainly sell quite a few copies, plus sell more copies after the fame has phased out. And it should sell well. I believe, now you gotta keep in mind, and when it comes to recent literature, I know I haven't been keeping up to date. I mean, the last 4 books I read were all written by Farley Mowat. And I'm currently reading The Three Musketeers. I don't know very many authors who are still alive this generation, and I haven't read much of their books. I've read a bit of Stephen King, I've read a bit of John Grisham. Tom Clancy is now dead, so I guess he no longer counts. I will go to used bookstores and just pick up random books that catch my eye, but I don't know who these people are. I know who George R.R. Martin is, and while I will eventually read his series, I refuse to until the series is done. I know who J.K. Rowling is, and I will eventually read the Harry Potter series, but just haven't yet gotten around to it. There are books that are just, I shouldn't say they're priorities, they just interest me more. My problem with literature is I like Russian classic literature, and I'm more attracted to the classics of the old days versus the up-and-coming classics that are happening now. Again, saying that, I read the novel, The Girl on the Train. I am aware that it's either becoming or has already become a major motion picture, and when I read that book, it said it sold over 10 million copies. Now, I don't know how long it took to sell 10 million copies, and I must confess I do not remember the particular woman's author's name, though I know she was a journalist beforehand. 10 million copies, even for a book, is a lot of copies. And my publishing contract, I pretty much get depending on whether or not it's sold by sold in hard copy or ebook format, I get about, I don't know, again, depending on the price, I get at least $1, if not $2 per book sold. So, if my book sells 10 million copies, and you gotta keep in mind I get significantly more if it's sold in ebook format, but I highly doubt ebook format is going to be that costly. It'll probably cost less for ebook format. It better cost less than ebook format. It's you know, it'll cost less if you don't buy a physical copy and you buy it digitally. But I've sold my book sells 10 million copies. I get quite a bit of money. So yeah. I'm by no means going to be a wealthy billionaire, but I'm certainly going to sell if my book does sell well, which it frankly should. But again, I am possibly keeping my hopes up too soon. I shall be able to live well above my intended means. I am by no means going to be owning a multi-million-dollar mansion. I'm honestly probably just going to buy a decent, not a luxury condo, but a condo, not even a penthouse, but a condo nonetheless in Hamilton. And I don't see the point of buying a house. I'm one person. I don't need all that space. I don't want all that space. I doubt I will ever sincerely intend not to have a significant other. I have the likelihood of me having kids is just barely above hell no. I might, but I doubt it because I have no sex life. I almost have a repugnancy towards sex, in all honesty. But yeah, I'll be able to live comfortably. I'll be able to afford luxuries without having to worry, can I afford my phone bill? Can I afford my rent? Can I afford my credit card? I might be able to afford things I've never even considered doing, like travel. My vacations growing up were of camping. Our travel wasn't really vacation, it was for family business. We went to California for a funeral for some aunt I can't put a face nor name to. I was young. We did go to Disneyland. I remember a little bit of that, but we went for family business, not for strictly a vacation. We went to British Columbia. Keep in mind, every time we did this, we didn't even fly, we drove. The only time I've ever flew was from the Oshawa airport in a Cessna, and it was by no means travel. It was my dad and I, both just wanted me to fly once in my life. I've never flown in a jet. I've never flown in a Learjet. I've never flown in a 747. Not a Learjet, yeah. I've never flown in a 747 or a travel jet. I've only been in a small Cessna. And because of this, I just never really had a desire to travel, but that's because I've never really had the means to travel, so it's just always been a, no. I might be able to afford to travel, I might be able to actually take a vacation for the sole purpose of taking a vacation. I'll be able to live in significantly less fear of, am I going to run out of money? Am I going to have an unexpected expense? Can I afford this? Or am I going to be flat broke, which is pretty much how I lived most of my life. Paycheck to paycheck, funds always tight. Now, enough about that. I must confess, I fear I've been gloating. And I don't want to gloat because I honestly don't know how well this is going to be. I just have a gut feeling, a significantly biased opinion that my book is going to sell well now. For the third good news, not as good as I intended it to be because of the lack of employment at my what I call argue current, but I'm just going to lay off the job and say that I will not be going back for a while. I did not find a place of my own to live, but I did find a different place to live, a room. Now, I jumped the gun a little bit and told the woman that I will be accepting it because just simply so I know I have a place to live come September 1st and I won't be living here. But I found a place to live. It includes all utilities plus the luxury utilities like internet and I believe cable, though I just don't use cable. All I really need is internet. I don't have my own personal Netflix account anymore, which is I never even knew I lost because I gave it away to the woman I'm living with now when I told her I was going to be canceling it, and she was essentially leeching off me. She took over my Netflix contract and I was on hers. But again, I never used it, and I guess Netflix now pays for each separate device. So I got booted off her account and didn't even know. And honestly didn't even care. But it might include just basic cable. I know it includes internet. I think it even comes sparsely furnished, so I'm not sure. So yeah, I don't have my own apartment, but I have a new place to live. One where I'm not going to be living with the people I'm at now who, pretty much part of the deal was I am here 6 months and then I move. Now it'll be 5 months, but, even when I moved here, I didn't really want to move here because, despite being a very good and personal friend of mine, she's also just by no means an easy woman to live with. I don't know how her husband does it. So yeah, I found a place of my own. So yeah, despite the setback of basically being laid off. I'm technically not laid off, I'm just declaring myself laid off because that's what I pretty much am. You can claim I'm just temporarily, they don't have any work for me, but considering they've been hiring new temps left, right, and center, I don't really trust them to be calling me, or even the people they've essentially laid off with me, back. Also, I just have no faith, no trust in this factory. The fact it's been so damn... just... the fact they screwed up this much since I've been working there, and if you count the days they sent me home, I haven't even been working a full month. I don't trust them to keep me the way they said they'd keep me. Even I was told that they had steady work. If you're sending people home and because you have no work for them to do, and when people show up to work and you ignore them, as I said, there was a day where they just simply forgot about me and I had no idea where my lead hands were. I did less than 25 minutes of work that day, and no one came to find me. That alone is a severe warning flag that tells me this factory is blatantly disorganized. And this factory is blatantly disorganized. I don't want to work there. I don't trust I don't trust the staff, the people in charge, enough for me to want to work there. They have no work for me. Even the days I show up and they claim to have work for me, they honestly just had no work for me. So, I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to be until they essentially call me back saying, okay, everything's ready, we have work for you. And while I'm desperate, I don't know if I want to go back. If they phone me in, I'll probably swallow my pride and feel like, because, you know, a job's a job. But, I just have no trust in them to, keep me employed. I don't have any trust in them to keep me hired. I don't have enough trust in them to pay me, is what I'm saying. That's pretty much what I'm saying. I don't have enough trust in them for them to actually pay me. So even if I get another job at another temp agency, which I have a few interviews for next week, I'd rather go with, say, temp agency that has me work a few days, that literally has me, phones me up, we have work for you tomorrow, go away, it's only for a few days. I'd rather trust that than Karma Candy, because Karma Candy is pretty much that. A, we have work for you, come in when you're ready. Always expecting A, we will always have work for you, not A, we should have work for you, and that's pretty much what it is. It's A, we should have work for you, oops, sorry, we don't, go home. If I am employed, I better be earning a steady paycheck, even if I don't like this job, which I did not like here. You better have me working steady. And they don't, so I just don't trust them to keep me. I don't trust them to keep me employed, even if I am, in all honesty, theoretically employed by them. I'm theoretically employed by them now, and they're not giving me any money. But anyways, I died. I've ranted and raved. Well, I shouldn't say I've ranted and raved. I've rambled. No longer working at Karma Candy, despite technically working at Karma Candy. My book is over halfway done. Might be ready to at least, if not, might not be ready to, if not, release by Christmas or the end of the year. At least have a release date by the end of the year. And I have a new place to live. That's what I wanted to say, and it took me over 40 minutes to say those crap that I got at the beginning of the video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to the rambling to an old man. Take care, everyone. Have yourselves a good day.